It's funny how Endpoint are at the center of the chaos here as we get into this knife round. For Imperial, they would be wanting that T side desperately so that they can try and run away in the first half.
I mean, you'd say that, but so many teams this season on Mirage have just gone for CT after winning the knife. Will remain to be seen. As you can see, obviously the knife round is taking place, and it does go down to a little bit of a one-on-one. Let's cast the knife round and see who's going to do it. And it is going to be Imperial picking that one up, so we'll see what they go for. I mean, I think they're probably... I'm slumped in my chair. I didn't realise that you were going to come back to me there. Imperial, I think they'll go for CT side, but I'd love it. I would absolutely love it if they go for the T side. Just get out that aggression. Just try and show some dominance. But it is going to be the CT side that they're choosing instead. They just want to go for that more secure attempt at getting some important rounds on the board and trying to put FM with their backs to the wall as we get underway with this pistol round.
Yep, and I can't knock it. It makes sense. The CT side is fairly standard as a first attempt. But look at this, Wendansky going to push straight on up, and actually Boaster shoots him in the back. Oh, it's gone wrong for Imperial, but they have one more, a wild card in Reason, and he's going to find two, not three. Pulse shuts it down. Bomb going to be planted here, a 2 versus 3 retake, and Imperial are in position, but it's a hard one.
It is a hard one, but you've got Jacob and you've got Connor, who are more than capable of doing so. Connor just taking this route down short, but can't find the kill onto Pulse, who's just holding down that bench. He's sat down, he's got his lunchbox out, and he is more than happily going to sit there waiting for the day to pass and anyone to push him, as Jacob is actually not going to have any of it and just going to save the little utility that he does have. Save that kit, save the smoke, and just throw a decoy as well, just to throw a little bit of a spanner in the works. But Imperial not going to take this pistol. FM are going to go now 1-0 up, and they can press on. Really important to get that pistol, obviously, but it always helps on the T side as well. And I wonder whether this is going to be as crazy a game as we've just seen on Nuke, or whether FM now are going to really come into their element, really dominate, really show what they're made of when it comes to A-site takes or B-site takes. I'm expecting a lot of plays in the book of FM eSports, and it's going to be how Imperial responds to that.
I have an inkling, right? And this is just purely gut intuition, so don't take me for my word that this game is going to be a stomp, one way or the other. FM have taken the first kill of the round, and so now they've got that advantage here. But whenever you have those long, hard-fought games, those bloodfests that was that Nuke game there, sometimes, especially when the tricky way that momentum swung so much towards the end, that it can just destroy a team's mentality.
For sure.
And so, it's just a gut feeling. I could be completely wrong. But look at this, Wendansky, he fancies his Deagle spray, and he's going to find one, tags down Pulse to 5 HP. It's a good start for Imperial if they want to have a chance to come back into this game. Make my bold prediction false. That's okay. I've not had a single correct prediction tonight, Dan.
That's fine. We're not.
So
I'm
just gonna throw them out. The more you throw out, it's like you throw out 100 predictions and one comes right. Then hey, that's good statistics, right?
I mean, if you say so, as Poster with the 5-7 now, seeing if he can find anyone in apps, he is going to be pushed. Weber's going to drop on down to Van and just spray away with his UMP. Can't quite get the final kill, but eventually does, as Jacob will be spotted out, tried to get boosted onto box and hoped that no one would see him. He might be able to get a cheeky kill here and there, but unfortunately his plans were thwarted, and now it's just Connor and Reason left. And I wonder whether Connor is actually just going to try and save this armor, or whether he's going to push in with this 5-7.
Looks like he is going to look for an exit frag. Maybe it will challenge Pulse up in the apps, but unlikely. He'll just wait for them to rush on out, try and grab himself an AK. Going to be Weber leading the charge straight into Connor, but Pulse is able to land the spray as Connor was preoccupied trying to shoot down Weber there. So Reason will hold on to this scout, and FM will pull ahead 2-0. Means Imperial going to have to save up. Get our gun round in round 4.
I like that 5-7 skin though. Might have to have a little cheeky look and purchase that one later. Although, I'd have to move my stat tracks across from my 5-7. Those 6 kills that I've got over the past 6 months have really been something that I want to hold on to, as FM go 2-0 up and continue to press on against the eco of Imperial. Nothing too crazy coming out. Wendansky almost started things off with a Deagle kill. but it wasn't enough to allow his team to get anything on the board as the quick push comes out from FM, and they are going to find a welcome mat on the B site as they easily waddle on in. Imperial, they stacked the A site, it didn't pay off. It's one of those gambles you have to go for. Unfortunately, today it's not going to work out.
You know, if I was Imperial, I wouldn't even contest the B site. You've already gone for the gamble. You failed. Whoever was going to take down Reason, Frey, Jacob. But don't give the terrorists any more money. It's unnecessary. You've got pistols, and you're in a retake scenario. It's impossible, right? So just no point. Maybe set up for the exit frags. That's fine. Try and steal away a gun. But attempting to fight and enter the site seems a little bit ludicrous, as Windansky is going to find one, and Stanley could be a second. Stanley only on 14 HP.
I think that's important what you bring up as well, is you just don't want to give away too much money to FM, especially if they've got those SMGs and it's just going to rack up their bank balance. But now Imperial can buy up, and this is where a lot is going to... We're going to learn a lot this round. We will learn if it's going to be a stomp or whether Imperial are going to make a game of it. Jacob with the AWP. So much for him to do. Is going to take the aggressive peek, but smoke's coming out. No, it doesn't get tagged through, thankfully. If he had died through smoke, he would have been very frustrated. It happens oh so often to us all, I'm sure, as Jacob now backs off into kitchen and is going to take a defensive position over at B, as middle will be in control for FM eSports. So now they can pick and choose. A site, B site, all the sites.
It'll be A, most likely, based on the fact that Frey is currently sitting over there. But they could just push Frey out, try and commit people to rotate towards the A site early. Sometimes does happen. Unlikely. They've got into connector here. Pulse just spraying, pre-firing, trying to find the angles that CTs often hold. It's going to be Reason finding a lot of hurt. When Dunsky does pop out, finds one, but everyone is falling. Connor on site, pulls out the USP, but it's not going to be a highlight-worthy clip this time. A 3 versus 2, the retake for Imperial. They don't have any diffuse kits, and it's Jacob on the AWP.
And how quick can Boaster get there? You can see he's rotating through that T-spawn. So far away, and he's going to have to walk as well because he's worried about giving away his position. It's going to be such a difficult retake for Imperial that they are actually going to have none of it. They're both going to retreat and just save their weapons instead. Hopefully Jacob can get away with his life, which he does. No one's going to come hunting from FM. And FM make this 4-0. So perhaps this could be the stomp that you spoke about, as they are just shutting out these Imperial members, pushing onto the site, flashing well, executing perfectly, to be honest. Reason was caught completely blind. He was waving his hands around, seeing if he could touch any sort of wall to find out where he was, but all he found was a bullet right in the teeth. And now can FM continue this fine form?
And this was back when we were on Nuke, and I said to you that Imperial needed to close the game out quickly.
Yeah.
This is exactly why they needed to close the game out quickly, because FM, they went on a rampage. They turned the heat up, accelerator, foot to the floor, and they've just changed the pace entirely of this series. It really affected the balance of Imperial. Yes, Imperial got the win, but going into the second game, FM were on a tear. And now they are just tearing up the CTs as Pulse Frey find one each. Pulse looking for a second. Reason may just go down. Peeks the nade. Ooh, very close. Stanley chasing on through, and Stanley will actually find the nade kill into Reason. Throws one in himself. It's only Boaster left alive on the B site. He's not going to find any terrorist here. Now he has to try and get himself a exit frag. That's the word.
Well, whilst we wait for Boaster to see if he can survive, I've always wanted to ask this to an Australian man.
Okay.
Can you give me an English impression?
Oh, I hate doing that.
How many people have asked you to do it in your lifetime?
Everyone asks, because
okay.
like everyone thinks they can do an Australian accent.
Thinks, yeah.
Right. I don't think I can do an English accent.
Okay, I won't force you to do it then. It's okay.
I can try.
Go on.
But
production and nodding.
Production and nodding.
I've been giving the thumbs up. You got to go for it.
What's typically British? I could do an ex-scoundrel. An ex-scoundrel is going incredibly posh and having crumpets with the Queen. He's got that posh accent. You can tell that he had a very good upbringing.
I'm not going to give you any points for your English accent today.
It's okay.
Sorry.
I gave you minus for the Australian. It's fair.
Well, you know, at least we both tried. That's the important thing. But FM now 5th round on the board. It was just a formality in that round. That's why we're having a little bit of fun. But Boaster, meanwhile, when Dowsey was going for the
Cheers, love! The cavalry's here!
we can't talk about that game. There's not another shooting game in existence. Boaster did pick up a couple of exit frags. And FM continue to roll the train through Imperial. But now we get the full buy. Once again, it is going to be a triple AWP setup for Imperial.
That is disrespect. Well, maybe not. It's desperation. And it's not going well. They've already lost Jacob, the dedicated AWPer for Imperial. Boaster will fall as well. Wendensky, watching this angle, does land it onto Stanley. It's a good start to try and hold the site, but he's going to get pushed back. The Molotov goes down. Nilzinho is going to land the bomb plant. So Wendensky all alone and AWP in hand will have to save it because it's the only thing in their economy they have left at this point. And he's going to run straight into Frey.
We'll find him, but I mean, 3 AWPs is a very bold move. I don't know who made that call. It's certainly going to be an interesting one. Their economy is going to be well and truly bamboozled. Can Wendensky survive with his life? No, he can't, as Pulse continues to hit headshots.
You know, Epsilon used to run it when they had Disco Doppler, Freddie B. They certainly liked the triple AWP setup because everyone could use it, and sometimes when they were winning, they would put it out. Never when they were losing, however, because they didn't have the economy to do it. And that's a little bit concerning for Imperial that they did attempt it on a losing economy. But now they've got that full loss bonus, so they can start just purchasing up every round, trying to claw back in. 4 for masses, an M4 diffuse kit, and limited utility. It's a hard game for Imperial at this stage.
And it's looking like the stomp that you once spoke of, and I don't think FM would be too upset with a draw. I mean, if we go back when FM were on 9 points on the board after 3 incredible victories, they then faced up against Excel. They drew that one. If they draw today, that's probably considered drop points from them, to be honest. However, they will still be joint top. It will still be in their hands to reach the finals, and I think that's the important thing that they have to take away from this series. As Boaster is boasting his way into middle, but he's not going to find anything as Pulse and Stanley continue just rain down on these Imperial members.
This is a little bit concerning, I think, for FM, that they are dropping games to teams that are lower down on the ranking boards.
Oh,
that is insane stuff from Jacob. He might just be able to hold this. In fact, he will. That is fantastic. Vroom, vroom. Here comes Jacob. Going to regain his AWP. And Imperial just pull that one out. Don't know where from. Dark place.
Yeah, a very extremely dark place. But what's important is they were able to do so, and Jacob now gets rewarded with an AWP purchase. And perhaps he should just stick with the FAMAS, to be honest. There's some dirty work as Boaster once again getting aggressive. I wonder if they got any information of him jumping into Palace. I don't think they did. You didn't see anyone kind of turn on the X-ray, which you so often do when you hear a sound. As there will just be one member hovering around A-ramp here. The rest have gone for that mid-control, which has just been given up early on once again. Flashes will come out to stop FM from pushing onto this site just yet. But with such mid-control, I mean, they can just pick and choose as to what they want to do, as Weber's tagged down to 19 HP through smoke. That's always going to be frustrating. Can Boaster catch the rotators? As Weber gets absolutely destroyed by Connor with just a UMP. And now it's just Pulse and Frey left. Perhaps Imperial back into this as Pulse gets one of his own, and Boaster is behind. They still don't know he's there, though. And Jacob is going to be smoked off as well.
Bomb going to be planted. No, it was just a fake by Pulse, but he will have to put it down eventually, as everyone is closing on in now. Reezy going to throw this Molotov out. Not quite going to put any pressure on Pulse. In fact, he's just boxed him into one spot, but it was good enough. Reason finds the frag, and now it's Frey holding the side against 2. Diffuse kit there for Reason. Jacob going to try and find this shot onto Frey. Frey sprays, but Jacob lands the AWP shot. It's 2-6. Imperial have woken from their sleep. And let's just talk about Nuke and their CT side from Imperial. It wasn't amazing. It was their T side that shined through. 11-4 was the score after their T side. And so, realistically for Imperial, if they get 4 points on the board, then they're going to be happy, based on the fact that their T side was so monstrous. Of course, you want a little bit more when a CT side on Mirage is favoured. However, It feels to me, from what I've seen, that Imperial kind of roll the T side a little bit heavily, and any victory they get right now is a win.
It's always tougher when you're behind as well, and you don't have that breathing room to just eco one round here and there just to save a little bit of money, to try and recollect yourselves, just to calm yourselves down a little bit. When you are behind and you know you have to get those rounds, you suddenly have to find yourself force buying, and you can make risky decisions that don't pay off. But FM have allowed Imperial back into this as Nilzinho gets the opening on to Jacob. Looks for a second in case anyone was hiding on chair. No one's going to be there. Boaster now taking a position onto Van. Does find one. Looks for a second but can't find it because Nilzinho comes in once again with the AWP. And they've got control of this B site. Reason is just going to be in kitchen, but he gets picked off too, leaving just Connor and Windansky to come for the retake. Well, look how far they are away. They are not going to go for this whatsoever. They're just going to probably buddy up together and save these weapons, but Freys are coming a hunting.
Yep, looking to try and diminish the economy that Imperial has. It's going to be pretty weak, and Connor's going to be up close and personal to Frey, wanting to peek here, wanting to find out. Back Frey watches the wrong direction. Windansky's the one to find it, but now they have knowledge that Windansky is down there by the ramp, and Stanley looks like he wants to contest. Throwing members at the CTs is a good idea because you take the guns out of their ecosystem, and it makes the next round very simple for you. In fact, the next round after that could also be simple. But Connor will retain his M4, so Imperial hold that one together. 7-2 now, heading into round 10. There's the economy for Imperial. It's going to be some pistols for a couple of them. It's going to be pretty dire unless they force down. And they are forcing down Dan. They're looking to try and turn the tides.
And look at the difference from Connor, 2 and 8 at the moment. That's not the same Connor we saw on Nuke.
It's the same CT Connor.
Well, yeah, that's true. His CT half wasn't great. It was his terrorist side that he was absolutely phenomenal. But he did pick up an even amount of kills on his CT side. I think there was at least 4 I counted. So he needs to put a little bit more on the board. But perhaps he is going to shine once again when it comes down to that T side. And speaking of shining, it has been Pulse who has been a standout player for FM once again. Most aces in the Premiership currently. Is that player with a little bit of a wow factor. Does have those jazz hands available when he needs them. As the force up from Imperial is working off as Connor gets the opening onto Stanley, and Reason's in a good position. Did he hear Weber is the real question? Probably not, as Pulse finds Jacob. Connor comes in, finds his second of the round. Has he heard us?
He did.
He did, but he's dead now.
Oh, unfortunate for Connor. And the round, it disappears as soon as Connor leaves the map, apparently. Imperial do lose that one. And pause will come out, and you can see already Connor has disconnected from the server. Maybe he is our mysterious lagger. Much tactical play as some of our other maps. It's more of an aim map. And so that's what I would want to see. But hey, let's talk about Mirage, because we're back in game.
Yes, we are. Thank you so much for waiting, everybody. We are sorry about the technical difficulties, but
oh, wow.
Eventually it's back on track as Windansky bursts his way into Palace. He's got plenty of members to join him as well, as they will pick up opening 2 frags. Frey goes down to Jacob, so what a perfect response from Imperial after that small break. Perhaps they've killed off the momentum of FM, and Stanley, Pulse, Weber have it all to do. They really need to group up, decide which site they're going to push, get together, and then that's how they're going to possibly win a round. If they do spread out, they will just play into Imperial's hands here.
He's saying that Connor accidentally tripped over his router by mistake.
I would never make such an accusation.
Obviously,
how dare you?
Obviously a joke, but look at this. Imperial have taken the time to reset, and obviously the momentum from FM has been slightly thwarted, unfortunately for them. And now they're down to 2 players. Imperial once more, they make a bet, and they rush a site. This time the bet does play off.
Can I say what a dirty look I just got from the admin as well? How dare we suggest there's any cheating in my Premiership?
It's a joke. It's a joke. I'm sorry. My apologies.
8-3 Imperial. Absolutely incredible round from them. Just bursting into Palace, picking up the opening couple of frags, really catching FM off guard. And FM now don't have the money to get a full... But yes, they do. It's going to be UMP that was on the floor. So they will still be able to work with something here, and I don't think they'll be caught off guard by any sort of crazy Palace push. Say that 7 times. Just yet from Imperial.
And I half joked about Imperial be happy with 4 points on the board on their CT side. It was half a joke, because I genuinely do think they would be happy with 4 points coming out of this one. But at the moment, they seem to have a bit of momentum behind them. They've woken up, you know, maybe they've got themselves some coffee or gone and, you know, inhaled an energy drink to get the maximum caffeine boost.
Through a straw.
Through a straw, why not?
Straw pedo it.
Hey, can you imagine?
No, it's probably not good for your heart, I'm not going to lie. I'm sure these players have consumed far too much energy drinks, as we all have as gamers, as Pulse bursts in, takes down Connor. Reason just here in Sandwich, can he get any information? Does spot out Fry, will take him down, looks around, finds Pulse. No, Windansky gets that one. Does take down Nilzinho though, and Imperial right back into this. FM, they're going to be saying, where did that come from? What on earth has gone wrong? And now they don't have the money to buy up. And we were joking about 4 rounds, perhaps we're looking at 5, possibly even 6 for Imperial.
Look at this, Reason makes himself an FM sandwich, tops it off with a bit of Nilzinho sprinkled on top. And fantastic stuff, just completely catches out the attacking force. They all had nades out at one point. FM, their timing was just slightly off. Now they are on that pistol buy, all flashed up in apps and split up due to a Molotov. Boaster just going to spray them on down, looking to get himself on the scoreboard. Jacob will join, and it is Imperial flying on through. They want to end this half with a slightly healthy scoreline. They could go for that 7-8, Dan, and that would be nice, but Nilzinho isn't done. Finds the Deagle. 24 HP will get taken by Reason, who all of a sudden is just climbing the scoreboard.
Yep, interesting round now for FM. How do they respond? Where do they push? Imperial just seem to have regained their confidence once again. Happy to take those aim battles. Connor down at the bottom of the scoreboard, 4 and 10. Is he going to be able to bring it back on his T side? But just a couple more rounds to work with first. A couple more rounds to get through before he gets to his confident side of terrorists. And now FM are going to go for this early mid control once again. And it looks like Imperial have given it up. Yes, okay, Reason is just holding connector, but no one taking that window approach. They don't want to throw anything away. They don't want to allow any easy frags for FM. Instead, they're going to make FM work for a site. As the smoke's going to come through. Very good smoke there, just smoking off any vision from A site towards short. So you're thinking the likelihood is they're going to be going towards B here.
Yep, and they take that AWP play out of play. Boaster now very close up, going to shut down Frey. Weber gets tagged on down as well. Is going to find Jacob in the back, but Boaster able to trade it back. Nilzinho has pushed on through, so now the attack comes from all angles. And FM are going to struggle as Windansky, AWP in his hand, going to find Pulse. Stanley going to find the return kill. It's a 2 versus 2, Dan. Connor going to come on in, jump on out, gets flashbanged on up, and falls to the ground. What can Reason do here from the short position? Has the kit, but the flashbang, it does a lot to dissuade him from pushing into the site. And now the clock is ticking. It's unlikely he can make a play for this. FM able to shut it down through some nice play. And Imperial not quite able to continue the momentum.
Really surprised that FM were able to take that round. It looked like it wasn't going all too well when they were challenged in apps, but great individual performances coming out from FM now as they get their 9th on the board. And Imperial, they would be happy with a 9-6 considering how things were looking. It wasn't looking very healthy at all. But now they just need to see what they can do. It looks like they're going to go for 2 AWPs in the hands of Jacob and Windansky. Well, Jacob obviously has been that main AWPer, but Windansky is definitely, well, it's definitely more than capable of hitting shots, as he did in week 1 when they were on display. He's pulling the shots out here, there, and everywhere, but he's not going to find anything through that smoke. Doesn't even go for any pop shots, doesn't even try and hit anything. Needs to be careful he doesn't get sussed out by Pulse here. Nade is going to tag Pulse down to 70 HP, and he'll back off and reposition.
Bomb currently making its way into mid as FM once more take control. Imperial haven't shown any confidence there, but Boaster, he has confidence and a half. He's going to push apps for a 3rd time in a row, and he gets the kill. Doesn't get shut down. FM just allowing him to continuously play that gambit. And now for FM, they're going to rotate members towards the A site and look to split it. They have Stanley in mid, who will make his way through connector. The rest are going to set up. They have no smokes, however, so it's going to be an interesting take towards the site. Reason once more in the kitchen, going to be looking to make a sandwich. This time, we'll have to see if FM check it.
They're going to more than check it.
They're going to grill it.
They're going to grill it, indeed. Make a grilled cheese as Frey comes in, takes down Reason as he was forced out of sandwich. And Frey actually gets a team kill onto Nilzinho as well, so he just wants everyone at the moment. Boaster and Jacob, last remaining CTs. Boaster has done so much early on in these halves. And Jacob almost was able to burst onto the site. He does find his way. I wonder if they know he's there. He might be able to get the jump on them. Yes, he does. He finds Pulse, and now he's going to look for Frey as well, who is on Firebox, but Frey will get the kill. And that is 4 for him. And Stanley comes in for one of his own. And I believe we are going to have a little bit of a half-time coming through. I was thinking it was going to be a pause, but of course it's 10-5. And I think Imperial will be happy with 5 rounds after their early start. I've got to say, a lot of the fact that they were able to even put 5 rounds on the board comes down to Boaster and his aggressive approach in through B-Apps. He really caught several FM members off guard. FM eventually sussed this out and only sent 1 member there rather than several. And Boaster's aggression wasn't enough to get any more than 5 rounds on the board.
Yep, and now they do head over towards the T side. And they're going to have to play this one perfectly. Pistol round is ever so important, as always, when you are this far behind. If they get it, then they can start swinging the momentum back towards them. Maybe chuck Connor a deagle just to create himself a couple more highlight reels for the montage he'll be making later on tonight.
Perhaps that's what he needs. Perhaps Connor just needs to enter this pistol round or the round thereafter and just get some really clutch kills just to get the blood pumping once again.
Yep.
Get the confidence going, and the team can get behind him, tell him he's made some sick plays, and then he can start doing more of the same, because he doesn't look like the same Connor at the moment. We saw him on CT when he was trying to retake that B site. He wasn't able to win those 1v1s. He was just pushing out willy-nilly, and it wasn't working out for him. So I want to see the Connor that we just saw on Nuke, to be honest. If we do see the Connor that we saw on Nuke, then we are probably going to go all the way here. The pistol round, so important. And FM have given up this site. They're going to allow Imperial to put the bomb down, and Windansky gets the opener. Reason gets one onto Weber as well, so they backed off. But they backed off into the pistols of Imperial as the bomb goes down, and the retake's going to be so difficult. Jacob is very much aware that someone could be coming from behind. It is going to be Stanley. He does pick up the frag, and now he can push into a ramp. It is a 3 versus 4, but the USPs are so deadly in these kind of situations. Windansky just hiding on Firebox. It is a 3v2. Connor can't quite pick up the frag onto Stanley, so now it's back to 2-on-2. Do they know Windansky is in Firebox? As Reason takes a battle here at CT, takes down Frey. It's just all on Stanley in this pistol round. Such an important pistol round as well. Does find Windansky. Can he find Reason? He's running out of time. Reason just needs to dance around, but he'll just get the kill instead. They'd run out of time. And Imperial put that important pistol round. They've laid the foundations. Now can they work from them?
Reason with a 4K to clutch that pistol round for the team. And now 6-10 is the score. And they've got themselves a couple of SMGs to try and build up bank here. The double Galil as well, so Imperial going full budget in this round. And it's going to be a UMP on Stanley. It was Boaster last time who surprised the CTs with a early UMP purchase. Boaster has an inkling that Stanley might be down there. He will not find the shot, so Stanley can now start pushing up with his UMP. Can he hurt the push from Imperial is the question, or will he just have to fall back? Reason has to be careful. 2 pushing towards him. Stanley does fall back. Frey with that C7 so deadly at close range. Pulse does go down. Reason just backs away in time, but not enough. Windansky will trade. 4 versus 3 here, Dan, and the A site is going to be the call for Imperial.
It is, and I like that they did play that round slow, allowed FM to overextend ever so slightly, and it was going to be Frey who came out with the confident push. Did manage to get one, but it's not going to be enough, as the advantage is still in Imperial's court now, as they are just slowly making their way to A site. Do still have plenty of utility to work with as well. Flashbangs, smokes, mollies, all of the tools. And are they going to use them efficiently is the real question, or are FM going to be able to catch anyone off guard? Connor whips around with the Galil, taking down Weber, and they'll continue their charge onto the A site now. Neilzinho might be able to take down the bomb. No, he can't. So the bomb will go down, and everything will be finished off by Imperial. And they put another one on the board, and FM, another Rico coming through to them. So expect Imperial just to hold on to these SMGs and Galils. Try and put that 8th on the board. Just want to see them keep things slow yet again.
Yeah, absolutely. They've now got the momentum that they desperately needed to start off this half. They can take this round. 8-10 is a much more convincing scoreline for Imperial. The stack towards the B site from FM, 3 down there. 1 currently out in mid. Up on short, in fact, sorry. That means the A side is wide open, and Frey is going to push, which will give the Imperial guys a bit of knowledge. The A side is much weaker. It looks like they want to commit towards B, and that could just play into FM's hand. Weber up in the boosted position. We'll have to see where Imperial does go, but they are sticking to this slow and steady play style, which you mentioned, Dan. I think that's credit to Imperial, not wanting to give FM an inch in this series.
What was Stanley looking at there? I thought that Stanley was going to have the jump on Jacob, but clearly he looked away, or he scratched, he had a sneeze or something, because he didn't see Jacob just wander into his sight lines, as it is down to a 4 versus 4, so the trade does come out. But I wonder if they will see Weber just boosted up, as you said. Imperial did try it when they were on the CT side, so Imperial should expect it. Connor might have just caught a foot there. Did he get a glimpse?
No.
And Weber now just playing it slow. No one's expecting it. He gets the kill onto Reason. Will find himself a UMP as well. This could be absolutely huge if he can survive, but he is getting absolutely lampooned from everywhere at the moment. Shots raining down on him, and he's not going to survive with his life. So, yes, okay, he got the frag onto the bomb. Does delay it ever so slightly, but it is just Frey left on his own, pushing in against 3 members, all with guns. He's probably going to end up as Fromage Frey, to be honest. And that won't be great. I tried to keep a straight face after saying that one, but I can't. It won't be great for FM, as they do allow Imperial up to 8 rounds. But now they get to buy again.
They do get to buy again. And Imperial want to keep 3 members in the economy here. They don't need to go for Frey, but if they can get Windansky that kill, then it just brings that extra kill reward into the economy. In fact, Bose has spotted out the last CT, so we'll take him on down. 8-10, and a pause in the match. Connor once more disconnecting Dowsey. However, someone stole it. So I had to put an X in front of it, and then I realized that X-Dowsey, I never called myself X-Dowsey, it was always Dowsey, and I wanted to hammer that in, so I removed the X, put a TV, probably because I was inspired by people like Flakes and Hugo more than anything.
Yeah, well, when you are kind of working in TV, so I can see why, and it sounds smart as well.
Yep.
As we are getting back into it, the unpause has come through. Connor has replugged his internet back in, and early frags now coming out from Weber and Pulse. Windansky chimes in with one on Frey, but Weber is just tearing through now this Imperial side with his AWP. Jacob bursts through the smoke and takes him down, so it's a 3-on-2. Can they get the bomb down is the real question. And I suppose, are FM going to allow that? Smoke is down, so Windansky has the cover to do so. Flashes come out. Stanley slowly pushing his way through Palace as well. This is going to be such an amazing position for him. He might be able to catch these Imperial members off guard, as Neilzinho is now going to try and take an angle on stairs. Might get caught out here. He was spotted, and Jacob finds him and gates it a 2v2. But here comes Stanley, as I said, with the position through Palace. Time to defuse as well, and after all that waiting, that was an extremely quick round.
Yeah, FM, they discussed what they knew, and they played it. They had Stanley instantly on the flank before the bomb was even planted, and they executed so well with that play. Imperial didn't even consider the possibility that they were being flanked there. Their position was right out in the open, backs turned to where Stanley was coming from, and it was just played directly into FM's hands. So the first gun round does go in favor of FM, makes it 11-8. Now we have to see whether Imperial can bounce back. AKs and smokes. We're going for a set piece on A once more. The smokes will fly very shortly, Dan. Have to see if Imperial this time can recap the site.
Yeah, and have they noticed that Frey is just lurking in this smoke here. He's going to flash as well. He's got two members right next to him. Comes out from behind him and finds two. Looks for a third onto the site. Does get the spray down. Can he find a fourth? He's up in Palace. He does get tagged down, but the damage has already been done by Frey. Incredible stuff from him. Windansky's the lone survivor. Frey tries to finish it off. He's just trying to spam through wood here, but Stanley comes in. Because he loves Frey, he comes to chime in, finish it off, and incredible stuff from Frey there.
And this time, I would suspect this is a tactical pause coming out of Imperial. After losing those 2 rounds in a row, I would be debating what just happened to us. What has FM done? They've turned the acceleration up once more. It's happened twice in both series now that FM has just gone from 0 to 100 with their plays, and after long pauses as well. So taking a pause is a little bit of it's a bit of a hard thing for Imperial, because they know that FM will use that time just as effectively, possibly even more effectively than Imperial, based on what's happened in the past. But they need to do it. They don't have the money to buy up. They do have someone with $7,000, I thought I saw, so they might go for their infamous force once more, see if they can't throw it back. And what's the call? AKs, so yep, it's a force.
It is going to be a force buy coming out, and yeah, I think just a little bit of time to collect themselves, Imperial, because they went for that A take and they were punished by Frey with his incredible positioning inside the smoke, lurking absolutely fantastically. Definitely a hard one to take. It's always difficult because you start to ask questions of your teammates. How did he get there? Who wasn't watching something? Did he come from behind? And you can become frustrated, and frustration is not what Imperial need. They need to be calm, and they need to look ahead at how they're going to be able to come back into this game, because at the moment it is slowly rolling away from them, and they need to somehow put a string around that ball and pull it back towards them. They've got 3 AKs to work with. Boaster was doing some crazy things on his CT side. He was very confident. Can he carry that confidence into his T side now and get an entry frag, as it is going to be Stanley taking his position in the aggressive apps here.
And looks like Imperial want to make their way towards the A site. Going to send people down through the underpass towards mid and then burst on in. Windansky in Palace, the rest going to come up through connector. But currently Boaster is lurking behind, bomb in hand, as Weber will find Windansky. Does that mean that they fake the A take, or will they send Boaster as well? He has been spotted. Sprays Stanley down to 9 HP.
Boost will come in into window, so they can now try and surprise Pulse, but Pulse says no surprises today, as all the FM members now are racking up the kills. Jacob goes down, so does Reason, leaving Boaster all on his lonesome. He does have the bomb, but does he have any hope?
No time, unfortunately for him. 10 seconds, so he's just going to try and find a single frag, stay alive if he can. And Imperial have thrown away their momentum here, down 13-8 now for FM eSports, and they're only a couple rounds away from tying up this series here. Boaster will take down Nilzinho, keeps himself in the economy, but look at it, Imperial do not have anything to spare. They're going to save on up here, buy up next round. Maybe they can Tech-9 train it in. Connor's purchased the Deagle, watch out!
Yeah, we've not quite seen that same Connor, unfortunately. But now the smokes will come through. Is it going to be a fake? Or are they going to actually try and push on this site? The counter smokes and Molotovs will come out from FM, which will certainly halt any quick push from Imperial. But it's definitely looking like they are favouring this A site with so much already committed to it. I wouldn't be surprised if they commit a little bit more. You can see, still flashbang smokes to work with. Molotov as well for Jacob. Can they find their way onto A site? Can they find their way back into this game is the question I'm going to ask you, Dalsy.
They need to do so now if they're going to be able to, or at least in the next round, because they don't have many more opportunities left. If they take this round, it certainly it propels them a little bit closer to their goal. I love this slow play. Throw all the utility over, try and convince them it's a fake towards the A side, then rush on in. But FM true to just sticking in their spots until they see the bomb, and they're going to just whittle away at this T side. Brace transfers the spray from one to the other, and Nilzinho will finish off Jacob there to make it 14-8. So in this gun round, the all-important gun round, really, Dan, to decide whether or not Imperial can come back into this series. If they lose this, it's not even a gun round. It's 5 Deagles. They're going for overtime.
They're going for the deco. And I mean, at the moment, Frey has just been the thorn in Imperial's side. They've not been able to pull him out as the grenades come through and shut down Jacob as well, so there's not going to be any aggression coming out onto A. And Frey, once again, is taking that close position on A ramp. So if Windansky even attempts to push through the smoke, he'll be greeted immediately by the M4 of Frey. And can he just do more of the same? That smoke is very slowly just going to disappear as Frey eventually picks him up. Does get tagged down to 4 HP through the smoke, but it's not going to matter too much, as FM going to put the 15th round on the board in less... I'm not even going to say unless. There's not going to be an unless. Connor's not going to do this, but it's going to be 15. Imperial with it all to do now. Is there a chance of a comeback? Probably not. FM looks like they will be taking 1 point away from their series, and most importantly, tying up with the leaderboard. Yes, okay, they probably would have wanted 3 points, but the important factor is they stay ahead of XL, they keep everything in their hands, and they can start thinking about finals. Well, they can start hoping of finals. It's still definitely a possibility. And it was important that they didn't lose this series. If they had lost this series, then suddenly it might have been out of their hands, with XL having easier games towards the final. But we move into this possible last round. Can Imperial do the unthinkable?
And they need to pray to the Irish gods now to bring Connor some more good fortune, or else it is not looking great for them. Stanley and Frey have stepped up into this series, and they are going to have a great Valentine's Day tomorrow, I can imagine. Currently both 20 kills. They both love each other very much, as we know. Weber going to take down Jacob, and it's all going to start falling apart for Imperial, as that's 3 gone. Reason able to trade back onto Nilzinho, looking for Stanley, but Pulse has taken down Windansky, all on Reason against Stanley. The Tech-9 comes out, and FM look to close the game. 16-8, they tie the series 1-1, and they retain that first position.
Yeah.